So, as already mentioned, I'm going to talk about drinking. Before I get started, I'm just going to very briefly introduce the BBSRC. We are the Biotechnology and Biology Science Research Council. We are the UK's largest public sector funder of academic research in the biosciences. Most of our research aligns with our three main strategic priorities in food security, industrial biotechnology, and basic bioscience and health. But one of our primary aims as an organisation is to support academic research that really underpins the needs of industry. And one of the main mechanisms that we use to achieve this is the Research Technology Club. So the way that the research clubs work is that they bring together a consortium of industrial partners together with the BBSRC to fund pre-competitive and collaborative research. The 90% of the funding comes from the BBSRC, with 10% of the funding from the industry members. As a result of their contribution to the club, the company members really get to drive the strategic priority and direction of the club. They also get to participate in the review and the choice of which research gets funded. They get early access to any kind of discoveries and new knowledge that's generated by the research. They can participate in the regular engagement and dissemination events which we hold. And they get a really excellent way of spotting new talent within academia which they can then collaborate with in the future. So DRINK is the research and technology club that's really associated with the food industry. It was established in 2007 in its first phase, with a budget of £12 million by BBSRC in partnership with BBSRC, MRC and all of the companies that you can see there. Because the club is funded by multiple research councils, the research that can be funded is much more broad and much more disciplinary and much more collaborative than the kinds of things we'd usually see sponsored through things like responsive merger. Ultimately, these companies are the ones who drove the strategic direction of the first phase. They selected 25 research projects to fund and ultimately supported a community of 300 academics throughout the UK. So this slide just gives a quick overview of the portfolio that was developed during the first phase. The crucial points here is that £12 million of funding was delivered through 3 separate calls for applications, each of which was around about £3 to £4 million. And you can see that in the beginning, in the first call, we had some very kind of broad and very kind of general priorities to improve our understanding of healthy diets and to understand the role of bioactive foods. So these are the strategic priorities that we were asking academics to kind of work and to build their applications around. As time went on, we had more detailed and more specific priorities which were developed with the companies to reflect their changing interests and needs in order to build a more kind of cohesive portfolio. Having spent all of the money, in 2010 we decided to embark on an evaluation of the programme, which was very successful, and you can see some of the feedback here. And the evaluation really established a couple of different things. It established that the drink research had enabled new research that really helped us to design better foods, that it established a series of new techniques to enable us to evaluate the effects of processing techniques on the nutritional content of food products, and it also found new ways to measure the effect of metabolites on various health conditions and how we can manage those. The drink projects helped to deliver new knowledge and methods and technology, including IP. They improved communication between academia and industry. They enabled the career progression of a number of researchers associated with the club. But most importantly of all, they led to an additional £25 million of funding being secured by the industrialists and academics associated with the club. And this funding came from a variety of different mechanisms, some of which are here. So we're talking about things like BBSRC, industrial case studieships, LINK and IPAs. Just to echo something that Nick said right at the start, the drink projects also helped to build new capacity within academia, which was then able to go and collaborate with industry to access TSB funding as well. So it's feeding into this overall pipeline of innovation. We've also had a number of KTPs coming from drink projects, and the drink academics have been able to participate in the framework funding. So, as a result of this very successful evaluation, we were able to commit to the second phase of the club. and another £10 million of funding. We've been working with the Biosciences KCN very closely over the last year to bring together a new consortium of companies and also to develop a new set of research priorities, which you can see by here. Over the next few weeks, we'll be publishing a new call text on our website, which will really give the detail around these research priorities and will help to really provide guidelines of the kinds of things that we're going to be asking academics to consider when they're producing for applications. The call will open for applications in May. It will close in July. We have a two-stage application process, so we're initially asking people to produce outline applications. We will then invite them back to submit full-stage applications later on in September and October. The first call will be worth around about £3 million, and there will be another 2 calls that will follow to make up this total of £10 million. So this slide shows all the companies that are involved in DRINK. Most of them are quite large companies, as you can see, but we are very keen to engage SMEs as well. So if you are an SME and would like to participate in the club, please do get in touch. You can also see that we have a range of research councils, as I mentioned earlier, associated with this call. So again, it's not just limited to the BBSRC, it can be very much more multidisciplinary and collaborative. So this is really the most important slide. I've said it to the end. This is the web address that the call text will be published to. So please do keep an eye out for that, although I'm sure the KTM will work with us to precise it as well. We've also got the contact details of myself, and my colleagues Elaine Broomfield and Curitin. We are the team at BBSRC that's primarily responsible for engaging with the food industry. So if you are interested in engaging with academia or working with the industry, please do talk to us, and we'll be happy to talk to you about any of the methods that we have. Thank you.